What if I told you the greatest trick the NBA ever pulled was convincing the world that this man was the greatest of all time? Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the man who David Stern strategically chose to lead the NBA out of its drug-infested age of the 80s into a global market in the 90s. From the Jordan sneakers to the Be Like Mike campaign to Gatorade commercials and movies like Space Jam, creating an iron seal around the legacy of the greatest fraud to grace a basketball court. But fans are starting to wake up and smell the cat. We're done with the lies that no one else ate on Jordan's watch. We're done with the mythical 48-inch vertical. And we're done with the idea that Jordan was never on performance-enhancing drugs. This is the truth about Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the biggest lie the NBA has ever told.
Great speech and all, Doc. You had him riveted. But didn't you forget something?
What?
Your secret stuff.
Going into the early 90s, Commissioner David Stern knew if he wanted to expand the global brand of the NBA to new heights, his golden goose Michael Jordan would have to break through and win an NBA championship to create the narrative that this was the greatest basketball player that the world has ever seen. And there was only one thing that stood in the way of that: the great Isaiah Thomas and the bad boy Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons ended the dreams of Jordan and David Stern in 3 consecutive postseasons in 88, 89, and 90, leading them to back-to-back championships in 89 and 90. This was not going to work for David Stern's plan for Michael Jordan's future. With a new international audience and the 92 Olympics on the horizon, David Stern had to change the rules to even the playing field for his dear Michael Jordan. And as for Michael Jordan, he went to see the Wizard of Oz that summer, hiring trainer Tim Grover and adding a miraculous 19 pounds of muscle in just one off season. Jordan, who said he never consistently lifted weights before in fear of messing up his jump shot, showed no signs of a weak jumper as the Chicago Bulls finally beat the Detroit Pistons in 91 and went on to beat the Lakers in the finals for the first of 6 NBA championships. In Tim Grover's book, Winning, he described Michael Jordan as being obsessed with getting bigger biceps to intimidate the opponent. And seemingly overnight, Jordan went from a 6'6", 185-pound scrawny guard to a 6'6", 225-pound beast. Also going from having a full head of hair one season and having a complete drop-top convertible the next. Classic signs of alleged PED use.
Because if you want to dig, we can dig, and I can show you some pictures. I can show you some pictures of full head of hair. 3 months later, hairline gone.
Fast forward 3 championships and 1 gold medal later, the NBA media darling Michael Jordan was labeled as the greatest player of all time, passing the likes of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many other greats that came before him. David Stern's plan has worked, and he became a marketing genius. And out of nowhere, Michael Jordan abruptly retired. Many speculated a gambling suspension was looming for Jordan, while others bought the BS story that he had done everything he could do in the league and he just needed a break. After the passing of his father, Jordan ventured off after his retirement to play baseball, his father's dream, another sport riddled with steroid problems. Jordan failed miserably at baseball and returned to the NBA during the '95 season and did not look the same at all. The Chicago Bulls fell in the second round to the up-and-coming Orlando Magic, led by Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway. And behind the scenes, David Stern was begging and pushing Michael Jordan to make a return to the '96 Dream Team. With the '96 Olympics taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, David Stern knew the eyes of the world would be on the United States, with Michael Jordan once again given an opportunity to expand the game to an even broader audience. But Jordan vehemently denied the opportunity to compete in the '96 Olympics and be part of the Dream Team again, stating that he would let other NBA players take his spot and compete for gold medals. But in reality, many believe Jordan was ducking the new Olympic testing, which had a lot of players during that time worried. On top of random blood tests, the Olympics was doing something different for the basketball teams. The leading scorer of each team for each game would be tested directly after the game, something the players, according to this report, were trying to avoid. Now, if it wasn't for the recent uptick in the witch hunt that is trying to pin the PED scandal on one LeBron James, I wouldn't have to go here, but it's a must. I reveal the truth behind Michael Jordan's PED scandal and the reason why he is the biggest fraud to grace a basketball court. Unlike Jordan, LeBron was cleared of any wrongdoing by the United States government and DEA when it comes to PED scandals. Jordan, on the other hand, was saved by David Stern and ducking the '96 Olympics. David Stern, the media, and Jordan himself successfully marketed him into being the greatest of all time. But honestly, it is all a facade. That's all I got on this for now. Once again, you already know it's your boy Moose Talks Hoops. Like I always say, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. You already know. It's a lot of things in this world that cost, but hitting the like button ain't one of them. And that's the truth about the greatest fraud to ever grace a basketball court, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.